Welcome everyone, it's Enrico Janko. I'm the Signal. We're powered by the mighty TeamAlliance. It's a Saturday, July 7th, about 3 o'clock p.m. Always in the market. Even when it's closed, I'm just looking and studying. Always practicing. Practice makes perfect, that's what they say. I wanted to bring everyone's attention, actually, to new education, new learning, and just some good orderly direction as we go forward within the markets. I know how things in the world could be. I know things get kind of cluttered. And in that clutter, a lot of just things to distract you, right? A lot of things that will distract you from what the goal is and who can actually offer to help you get to the goal, to get to your actual result. So sometimes you need to really just clear it up, and show the direction so people know. It's just quite confusing to remember, who did what, who was what in the market, what was going on, right? And I know if you're just coming into that, you're like, what is he talking about? But we're talking about how I win 10, 20, 30, even 40 trades in a row. And we're just doing it with just price action and just really common sense, right? So I'm just going to run down this little promo. I like this particular promotion because it encompasses a lot of education. And the education part is important because the education that's out there, something is askew, amiss with what goes on out there, because most of the time people are not getting the results that they actually look for in the market. So I like to actually, find out why. You can always email me some more information when you hit this page right here, and you get a little continued training and some real core principles of how we make money in the market. But going forward, I wanted to stress finding high profit levels to make great trades. High profit price levels. I want to know where in the market can I set myself that when I take a trade, win or lose is the best placement of a trade, right? And this is something you can't explain in the past, right? You got to kind of do this going forward. That's why whoever is showing you, teaching you, leading you, make sure they're leading you in the present. Make sure they're leading you in the present and not with past information. You don't want to be led by just old videos, right? Truth of the matter of all this, I'm no different from any other trader, really, right? Bald heads, right? Bald heads, all that. You know what I'm saying? No different. In the informative years, let's just say that, when I just started out in the journey trying to make extra money, market seemed like the best place to do it at. Everything looks, promising. Looks real interesting. And the problem with interest, and that's where everyone has a problem once they make it to the market. The brain is hardwired for interesting stuff. It likes novelty. Your monkey minds, the monkey mind will drive you crazy, right? And just like everyone else had the monkey mind, and I messed around for many years, that's me right there, just messing around with the spaghetti head, right? I got the trading buzz really when I was actually a teenager. By the time I was about 26, something like that, funded my first account. Just got my, a decent paying job where I could afford, to mess around a little bit. You get that little extra money. So instead of doing things that other people, I guess, when they're 26-year-old would be doing, I was doing this. All right. And one of the most frustrating parts, man, of learning how to trade any of these markets is that Everything works sometimes, right? And it's everyone claiming that what they got is working, and it is working until it's not. And then usually it's like you might hear from them, and if you do hear from them, they might be doing something else, right? That's why there's so many strategies. That's why they be having like this strategy, that strategy. They got this strategy. Like they juggling mad strategy. Spaghetti. Whatever they was doing is not working. That's all it is. That's why you don't really hear from them like that, or you hear from them from afar or back. It's never present. It's videos, old stuff, right? It's mad indicators, mad indicators, thousands. It's robots, books, training. It's all of that out there. Coaches. It's try everything. I tried it all. So I know that anyone that's really looking, you probably have not really tried everything. You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm not saying none of it works, but it's going back and forth and trying to decipher exactly who really knows what about what and how it actually works like that. Man, trying to do that is crazy. You actually tried it. I don't know if you have tried it yet or how when you started your journey in this, but you can do that for years, right? I did that for about maybe 7 years, 8 years. Just going through, looking for answers, strategies, the whole thing, your signals, your bots, and that led me into like what I call the focused depression. Just shunning everyone, anything social, nothing. I'm not doing nothing but studying the charts, just trying to do this. All the indicators and anything fancy, I don't need it. All I did was just study bare charts in every time frame, every single one, right? Manually trading it, manually walking through each one. Might have did that for about 10 years, right? But I'm still straight losing money, right? All straight losing. So you got to figure every dime kind of my job income, right? And I had to, had a decent job at that time, right? You know what I'm saying? Probably doing like at least 50,000. That's decent, I guess, in middle America, right? So, and I would routinely just lose. And I would just be thinking, yo, I'm getting closer. Man, I'm losing. And when I say losing, I'm talking about real sums of money. Real sums of money, affecting family, all that type of thing, right? But I kept saying to myself I was getting closer, but it wasn't that I was, but it was that entrepreneur delusion, or that determination to let me just keep on going. One thing I did notice after all that time, we talking about damn near 15 years now, right? I found out that almost no one immediately available knew what they was talking about, right? And it wasn't that they did not know what they was talking about. It was that they always knew a piece of the puzzle. So no matter how knowledgeable they could have been on the subject, it was like they still only knew just that piece. So it was like take a mechanic. This guy, he called himself a mechanic, but he fixed flats. He a flat fixing mechanic. So if you take your car there with a transmission problem, he can't fix it. I don't care if you sit there and be like, yo, you say you're a mechanic, yo, I need you to fix it. Yo, fix it. If you did that to him and forced him to fix it, he gonna break your car up even more, right? Because that's not his specialty. And I use a wide gap, right? I use a flat tire mechanic. But what if he's like an electronic mechanic, or he do he do just the outside work, the cosmetic work. You know a bad mechanic. Come on. But anyway, I found that most of them really they really don't know what they're talking about. I don't care if they lead the group, they run the group, they whatever in the group. They more so ended up knowing how to market really than they knew how to really trade. And I don't even say that they knew how to market. I'm going to say that a lot of times what happens is that people get caught up in random events. And if the random event happens for a little longer than what a person would say, oh, that's a regular amount of time. If it happened for a little longer than that, then they things work in their favor and they took enough risk at the time and everything looked good and blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden they could be the guru for the next 5 to 10 years if it was all documented and everything properly. But most of the time they never could really duplicate their successes like on a regular basis. Most of the time they just can't do it regularly. They can do it, but they usually just can't do it regularly. That's why it's always just some old information of some stuff they did in the past. It's never what they do now. But anyway, all my constant studying and all that, it started, paying some dividends. So I started seeing some things and started realizing what was going on in a lot of this market, and to see how the gurus or the leaders in this were working this and what they were doing. And I noticed that, so once they had they success, they would just lean on that and make a group, charge for training or whatever they was doing. And there's nothing wrong with that per se, right? Because this is trading. It gotta be blood. Like, no one gonna give you anything that works. No one is just giving it to you just like that. So I understand that. It gotta be blood. But what usually happens is that they start looking at this all as passive income, right? And start leaning on just passive income from their members and all that to make money. Stuff like that. And the thing is, trading is active. You know what I'm saying? I'm interactive with this. You got to be active with this because this is present day stuff. You see, it goes on right now. It pops off right then. It pops off in the future. So you got to be, you got to be in it, right? So anyway, studying all this, I began to see points of interest in the market. And they were price levels that seemed to either, strongly repel or strongly attract prices, right? And it was at these price levels, everyone in the market either started doing the same thing, right? Up, down, or whatever. Or everyone at that point was just getting pounded out. And what I mean by pounded out, mad people just losing money right there. So that made things a lot interesting. And so I was like, if I could just start looking at those points of interest alone, where everyone was just kind of doing the same thing, and then kind of just participate in whatever they was doing, man, something can happen. So as I looked at it more, I'm seeing that this is not just random movement, right? They are points of interest in the market. So now I'm feeling like kind of on to something. The market isn't maybe just all random. It's mostly random, but it's mathematically based, right? So the big institutions and all the algorithms, they like to keep the market in a tight balance, right? Most of the time it's balanced. It's not usually moving in one direction or the other. It's usually a balanced market, right? But since the markets are made of people, this is where we get something going on. So the banks and all the larger funds, They're all still run by people, and the objective of people is to make the most money with the least amount of risk. And they got a lot of smart people that's just doing that, right? That's important. That's important. And so when you think about it, it's been right in front of my face, your face, everyone's face the whole time. I'm doing this for like 20 years, losing money straight. And the whole time it's really right there. The big institutions, they required, they have to. This is what their jobs is all day. People are at their jobs. They wake up with the intention, the expectation to move a large amount of money every day for whatever reason, right? It's so much money that they can't move it in silence. And they move so much money, period. It kind of does. They move so much money that they have people working that trade against each other, and they're all doing this in a whole for less risk because they want to make the most money with the least amount of risk. You see what I'm saying? So it's like the largest institutions, they make their money from just the spread, the bid to ask price, right? Then all those bid and ask prices, the quotes, they send it out to the secondary market. And then the secondary market advertises out to another intermediary market. And finally, the prices reach us, the retail trader, the public, right? So this means all the prices that we're seeing are in the back window, in the past. The big institutions, they already made their move, already state their position. The bets are already on. This is when I came into Enrico's rifts. That's what I like to call them, right? And these are special support and resistance zones that I made, that I created. But no, I didn't create any support and resistance. The banks did it. It's how they move all their money, right? And this is what I look at. And this is what we look at when we're in IMtheSIGNAL, in the Follow Me service. This is what you kind of be looking at with this stuff, right? This video is getting a little long, so I'm going to probably continue this on the second part, right? It's Enrico Janko, I'm Signal, and we are powered by the mighty, mighty TeamAlliance, all right? I'll see you guys real soon. And ladies.